The war that almost started over a pig. A forgotten border crisis that nearly pushed the US and Britain to war. History teaches us that wars begin with ambition, with ideology, with hatred, but sometimes they begin with hunger, sometimes with fear, and sometimes with a single gunshot aimed not at a soldier, but at a pig. This is the story of how two of the most powerful empires of the 19th century came closer to war than anyone remembers. Not because of territory, not because of honor, but because of one animal that wandered into the wrong garden. In the middle of the 19th century, on a quiet island in the Pacific Northwest, a pig crossed a boundary no one had clearly defined. The animal belonged to a British employee of a trading company. The garden belonged to an American farmer. The pig ate the crops. The farmer lost patience. So he did what farmers had always done. He shot it. That should have been the end of the story. Instead, it nearly became the beginning of a war between the United States and the British Empire. The problem was not the pig. The problem was where it died. The island sat in a region claimed by two nations, under a treaty written with beautiful language and terrible precision. The agreement said the border would follow the channel. It never said which channel. There were two. Each nation chose the one that benefited them. For years, this ambiguity remained harmless. Traders traded, farmers farmed, no one pushed too hard, until a pig forced the question. After the pig was shot, its owner demanded compensation. The farmer offered money. It wasn't enough. Local British authorities threatened arrest. The American farmer refused. Word spread. And suddenly, what began as a personal argument became a test of sovereignty. American troops were dispatched to the island, not to fight, but to assert presence. British warships appeared offshore. Cannons faced the land. Soldiers faced each other across fields that had never known conflict, all because of an animal worth a few dollars. Here is the part history often forgets. Orders were prepared, guns were loaded, naval commanders waited. If a single nervous soldier had fired, if a single officer had misread an order, the United States and the British Empire would have gone to war, not symbolically, not diplomatically, but fully, over a pig, and neither side truly wanted it. This standoff revealed something deeply uncomfortable. Neither nation could back down without looking weak. Neither nation could escalate without looking ridiculous. This is where many wars actually live, in the space between pride and embarrassment. Leaders were trapped by their own symbols of power. Flags had been raised, ships had been deployed, authority had been publicly claimed, and once power is displayed, retreat becomes dangerous. What saved the world from war was not strength, it was restraint. Commanders on both sides quietly agreed not to fire the first shot. Diplomats intervened. A joint military occupation was arranged, something almost unheard of. For years, soldiers from rival nations lived side by side on the island. They shared drinks. They shared stories. They avoided bullets. The pig remained the only casualty. Years later, the dispute was resolved not by armies, but by arbitration. A neutral decision finally clarified the border. The island went to the United States. No victory parades followed. No monuments were built. Because celebrating would have meant admitting how close the world came to disaster over something so small. This was not an accident of history. It was a pattern. Many of the world's most dangerous moments begin the same way. Unclear agreements, overlapping claims, wounded pride, local incidents mistaken for national insults. The pig was never the cause. It was the trigger. History prefers grand explanations. But reality is often smaller, messier, more human. Wars do not always start with hatred. They often start with misunderstanding, and leaders who cannot afford to appear weak. That is why the most dangerous moments in history rarely feel dangerous at the time. They feel trivial. The world remembers wars by their battles, but sometimes The most important lessons come from wars that never happened, from moments when power stood on the edge and stepped back, not because it was noble, but because it was embarrassed. One pig wandered into a garden, and for a brief moment, the fate of empires balanced on whether someone pulled a trigger twice.